What is up, guys? Thank you for checking out another one of my videos. Make sure you like this video for me, you subscribe if you haven't already, and you hit that little notification bell so you know when I post new videos. So today I'm going to be talking about the foundation of your stack, why it's important, and what makes a good foundation. That's really what I want to kind of focus on this video. So I have three options here, three very good options, but you can pretty much have any foundation you want as long as you follow a strict guideline. So I'm going to get into that in a minute, but first I want to talk about when I made my 2 full stack videos. So the first one I did, I had no foundation at all, none. I had just sold it and decided to make a full stack video after the fact. So I was buying my home at the time, so I sold a lot of my silver to get some capital in order to put down on the home. So basically I wanted to document what silver I had left, and I knew that I was going to end up selling more silver, and on top of that, I had all my silver in one place, which never happens because I was in the process of moving. So basically I made a full stack video then without a foundation. The second time, it was 1 year of basically buying silver without selling any silver unless it was buying more silver. But in that video, I only had a piece of my foundation because I was still in the process of rebuilding from when I had sold a year ago. So now I have finally have a nice foundation built. So I'm going to show you, this is a portion of the foundation that I have built over the last 2 years, because the first full stack video when I sold it, I had lost all my foundation. So this is basically where I'm at 2 years later. So 3 options for a good foundation, and this is this is something that's really important, and I probably should have mentioned this in both my beginner's guides, how important it is to have a foundation. So the reason why it's important is this is the stuff you're going to sell if you run into financial hardship. When the time comes to sell and you maybe don't want to sell all of your silver, just this stuff right here. This is the most valuable part of your silver stack. But besides that, besides having that uniformity that's very important when it comes time to sell, you don't want to be selling all these semi-numismatics. I mentioned this before. It's very difficult to kind of sell all types of different numismatics. But the main reason is those semi-numismatics, believe it or not, a majority of them have a shelf life. So after the series is over, you only got a couple years before you can sell those. Some of them you can only sell probably 2 years after the series is over because the hype's gone, people don't know it, you have new stackers coming in that are not familiar with it, and if people don't know it or understand it, they're not going to buy it. So those semi-numismatics have a shelf life. So the guideline for a good foundation is it's got to be reputable, recognizable, and it's got to have longevity. Longevity is probably the most important thing. So because it has that longevity aspect, any of the stuff that you buy, you could hold it for a very long time. The foundation is meant to be there for a long time or be readily available to sell. So you want to have stuff that is recognizable and easy to sell. And besides that, by doing this, it actually keeps you disciplined. So you're not going to go splurge and buy those heavily collectible coins, those heavy premium coins, if you set aside a certain amount of money to put into your foundation. So it's going to keep you disciplined. So it's very important for that reason as well. So this is kind of like the boring part of silver stacking, but it's very important because, like I said, that uniformity is going to be, trust me, you're going to appreciate it when it's time to sell. I've sold portions of my stack several times, and trust me, uniformity is the way to go when it comes time to liquidate into cash. Trust me. So here we have 3 different, very good options for a foundation. And you'll notice, if you watch a lot of other YouTube stackers, you're going to notice that a lot of them, when they show either their full stack or huge portions of their stack, they're going to have a ton of one of these categories, whether it's generics, whether it's American Silver Eagles or Maples, or constitutional, because those are very good foundations. So here, basically what I have is generic stuff. This is what I consider generic. This is pretty much as generic as I'm willing to go. And this is Sunshine Mint stuff, which I love. This is my favorite generic stuff that I can buy because of this feature right here especially. I love any kind of silver that can be verified on the spot. So if you get the little card, plastic card, it will tell you if it's valid or not. So I like that. You could prove its authenticity on the spot. So I like that a lot. So I bought it. All the new Sunshine Mint stuff has that feature. So then I have this right here. This is a Republic Metals Corporation 10-ounce bar. Now, I purposely grabbed this because Republic Metals Corporation is no longer in business. So as of right now, these are a little bit collectible because of that. But you don't want this stuff. You don't know who's going to go out of business. So you want to make sure your generic stuff is also with reputable companies or dealers or mints. So here we have the Royal Canadian Mint. They're not going to go anywhere for a long time. So I feel very comfortable having these in my foundation, as well as Sunshine Minting. They're massive. They're huge. They're not going anywhere for a long time. So I feel comfortable with this being in my foundation. Whereas this, you get what I'm saying? No longer in business. So you got to be careful for that. Like I said, those are collectible now. Maybe down the road it'll be easy to sell, but you don't want to have a ton of this stuff. You don't want to get stuck with it. The chances of someone buying, you know, I'm just saying 500 ounces worth of silver from a company that's no longer in business, you never know. It might be difficult. You want them to be around, and you want the company to be in the mix, part of the discussion in the silver stacking community. And then on top of that, another thing, when you go to sell, the options are, so if you need money quick, you can go to a pawn shop. I get asked this all the time, by the way, where to sell your silver. So if you need money quick, you can go to a pawn shop. I don't recommend it at all. They will offer you at least melt value. So this stuff is not too bad to go to a pawn shop if you need money fast, if they're giving you melt value. If you bought this early and silver goes up, you could actually still make a profit even though you're selling to a pawn shop. Another good option is to go to your LCS, your local coin shop. Some of them won't buy it at all. Some only deal with collectibles, only deal with semi-numismatic coins. They won't buy any of this generic stuff. I have a coin shop by me. They will not touch it. They will not buy any generic stuff. And you might run into that as well. So you might have to go to a couple before you could offload this or liquidate your generic stuff. The best option is always to sell private. Always. Sell privately through Instagram, through Craigslist, through anything you can. And that's why I always say, even if you're not a content creator, it's good to stay in the mix, stay in the loop, and kind of network with people that are in this community, because they are potential buyers down the road. And if they know you, there's more likelihood that they're going to buy from you when the time comes to sell. So you should have some form of, social media, and kind of stick with the networking in the silver stacking community. So Instagram is one of the great places to do that. Then we got American Silver Eagles. We got Silver Maples. So this is the government-backed silver. Very popular, obviously. The American Silver Eagle is probably the most popular piece of silver you could possibly buy, the most recognizable piece of silver you could possibly buy, along with these Silver Maples right up there with them. But as you can see, one of the problems with the maples right there, some milking. So these are good options as well. Now, recently, the American Silver Eagles have gone up as far as premium. The percentage of premium has gone up. I used to stack these pretty hard at one point, especially when I first started stacking, because there was just so many videos about them, and they were so popular, and all the research I did was leading me to American Silver Eagles and Maples. So I had a lot. And then, I don't know what happened over the last year or two, the premium has gone up on those American Silver Eagles. So now what I'm doing 1 tube a year. That's it. Not stacking it that hard, and buying random, maples here and there, basically whatever's cheap. And that's pretty much what I'm doing for this whole foundation. Whatever's cheap, I'm buying, but I'm forcing myself to buy at least 1 tube of eagles a year. And I have another tube of mixed year eagles, because if I see a good deal, I'll go and buy them, and they're usually mixed years. So this stuff is really good. Another good option is actually any of the Perth mint stuff. The kangaroo is actually a good one. The kangaroo nugget is a good option as well if you want to do government-backed silver that is recognizable. And if you want to know the difference why people buy government over generic or constitutional or anything like that, I made a video on that back in the day, so you can check that out. So this is government-backed silver. So a lot of guys have foundation with this stuff, especially eagles. You'll notice there's a lot of guys with like monster boxes, and they're very popular. So this is a great option. They're going to be around for a long time. So the longevity aspect is there, and that's something you want. And they're very desirable, of course. So very good options right there. And then we have constitutional silver. Now this is something that I recently started stacking pretty hard, actually. I never really had a lot of constitutional or junk silver in my stack. Never. And I've been doing this for a long time. So recently I started doing it because I'm kind of watching the trend. I don't know if you guys notice, but there's a lot of people that are trying to find this stuff at a good price. I get a lot of questions about where to get it, where I buy mine, and stuff like that. So the demand is increasing for this constitutional / junk silver. It's recognizable, and to be honest with you, you can list this stuff on eBay. You could sell this privately, and whatever face value you have, you could do a $1,000 face value, and somebody will buy it. This stuff is extremely liquid. People want it, and people buy it in bulk. So this is really good. This is probably, actually, to be honest with you, this is probably the most liquid out of all the options on the table. This is the most liquid. I would say, as of right now, this is the most liquid. Everybody wants it. Constitutional silver, junk silver. And people will spend big money to buy it. So these are 3 good options. Like I said, you don't have to stick to one. You could mix. Like I said, I go with whatever's on sale, whatever I get a good price. I usually buy my constitutional silver under spot. So now that's why I'm stacking it really hard, because it's one of the few silver pieces I can get that I can actually get under spot, because it qualifies for eBay bucks. So right now I'm stacking this pretty hard, more than I ever have before. So and just follow that guideline. You want it to be liquid, reputable. You want it to have longevity. So those 3 things, you follow those 3 things, and you will have a great foundation, and it'll set you up for success in the long run, especially when it comes time to sell. I'm telling you right now, when you go to sell, you're going to thank me for having this uniformity in your stack. It makes things 100 times more simple. So anyways, let me know what's in your foundation down in the comments. If you want to add anything, put that down in the comments. Make sure we help each other and answer questions if I can't get to it. I really appreciate when we act as a community and help each other. Anyone asking a question in this community, the Guido stacking community. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys later.